Hello and good evening. Late stream tonight, and just letting you know, probably will not return to stream until later in the week, Friday or so. If it wasn't so difficult to adjust the actual schedule on Twitch, I would, but it is pretty hard to actually change that day to day, so you understand for now, I'm sure. We won't worry about it, but anyway, tonight I did want to get to some good Baldur's Gate a bit. We played a good bit of Hunt today, a few rounds, my last day playing the event. For now, we will launch the game and get to some of the audio lore. At least we didn't finish that, so we'll enjoy some of that. And pick it up another time soon after the event. This will be last of Tide of Shadows. So I'm excited to show you just a few screenshots here to begin. We'll look at some other good adjustments soon for now as well. But first thing here is that newest command you just heard there for our champion menu. So let's go ahead and add that newest command you heard just now. That would be bloom. Oh, it's actually already added directly upon saving it. Okay, well that is added. Yeah, bloom to the menu. And looking good for that. So look at recent screenshots, and then we'll launch the game for those lore. Good times of that. And then pick it up Baldur's Gate, maybe just a little bit for Ranger Knight to get back to the starter area after just exploring a little more around the Grimforge. And then we'll finish with that. But first we're getting straight back to Dark Urge and the raid on the Grove, so look forward to that. Hopefully at least a good hour tonight. It's pretty late and I have to get up quite early. But did want to have a good stream before midnight here. So let's get to it. Let's enjoy, make the most of it for the time we have. And hope to chat with you very soon. It will be great. So for now, let's get started. Screenshots, and then we will launch the game. Show one other capture I showed as well. And be looking good. Alright. Not necessarily in that sequence, that order. It'll be great. Hope you guys have a good week. Dragon Knights all over. And we'll chat with you very soon after the fact, and it will be great. For now, let's begin. Onward to greatness. Had some really good rounds here today, mostly last few days. But you'll see here, Sponge and I finishing off with duos. Had a really amazing time finishing off challenge. Killed a trio here with the Carabiner Officer Pistol backup. So that went really well. And yeah, just a few screenshots show some various things during the sequence fighting. It's very interesting. Yeah, not particularly any meaningful screenshots here and there, but they did have some good rounds. Before that, yeah, fought other team by that compound, and yeah, I can walk you through the process of a lot of other recent rounds if you want, but for the most part, just had some really good ones. Killed a trio and a duo today. I could go through screenshots all day. They'll always be there. They'll always be saved in the cloud, hopefully. So anyway, the really good trio takedown with Carabiner and Officer. So what we finished with. Pretty much have my time of showing captures and how the game is recently, so we're kind of much done with that. So that's alright. I'll show you my last capture though. I do have a specific capture, so we'll just take a quick look at that and see if I delete it or not. But this is basically just Witch Hunter in the rain, so let's decide if this is worth keeping or not. Yeah, just kind of rain appreciation. I didn't really move much in this, but yeah, it's kind of nice. Heavy rain. It's very exciting, so yeah, we're gonna get to more of the actual rounds on stream, but I think that'll pretty much do it for now for, you know, showing the video capture. We'll get some more stream down the line. Screenshots are good for now. I hope they're saved on the cloud. If not, they'll at least be saved locally. So, a lot of screenshots. We'll get to the lore for now. And I'll show you just the Hunter roster loadout. But for the most part, we'll be playing those later. Better internet, where it's more seamless. You'll see what the ping is here, just launching up in lobby. When I was uploading the sound earlier for the command, I noticed even that was quite intense for, you know, actual... Camera's just gone in the dark. The black screen can't see anything. But yeah, I noticed the ping out was really hard just uploading the sound. It's like 600, 700 ping for the 10 minutes or so it took to upload. So I played some trials today. Got a few of the Hag trials done. Played those several times. We can show those screenshots later at some point. Try not to take too many screenshots so we'll have less to show. More meaningful ones, I mean, when we actually get to that. So we will see. But for now, looking pretty good. And we'll check out what else later. Quick launch up of the game. As you see, Black Camera getting to Baldur's Gate here very shortly anyway, so turn my regular light on if needed, but I figured this would be good balance for tonight. So try to chill stun. We'll switch back over to actual game. Alrighty. You notice my camera come back when there's any actual light on the monitor. It's not much tonight, but it should be good enough for our purposes. So yeah, I finished off with Gar there, as you saw the screenshot. Trio kill. Each with Carabiner and Officer back up there. Is finishing up the challenges, so finish that just in time. Event ends in exactly 24 hours, so wasn't that fun. Yep, finished the event in time, thankfully. It was good fun. Enjoy that song one more time. But it's been fun. Enjoyed the rain for sure. Enjoyed the last 24 hours of the event starting now. Alrighty. Building the Stalker Beetle. I'm just doing the extra ones for fun at this point. I've almost got old tusk damage. That's officially retiring on 23 days. So we'll see about that later. It's weird that's at 5 a.m. for that one. But we already got the main rewards. Just a matter of doing these extra ones for the fun of it. Alright. Well, the one thing tonight, after I did buy that, I didn't use the Railroad Hammer tonight. That's one thing I did want to use. We'll just have to use that later. It'll be permanently unlocked anyway, so that's okay. We'll use the hammer later, but for now I did get that Damned River. Get my last bit of money on that. And we'll adjust that bank statement soon, but for now, also the hammer, yeah, I'll look forward to using that at some point. I haven't actually brought it in yet, ironically, but seeing teammates use it, it's pretty good. Glad they added that mace concept. We have exclamation concepts. You'll see my weapon and hunter concepts. But before the event actually over, I did want to go through the lore here. I believe we left off somewhere here, maybe 4. Yeah, we are lost. One more note, the sun didn't rise. I think the storm has eaten it. We did listen to that. I don't remember if we carried on from there, but this is a good place to do the last 10 chapters. So we'll enjoy that for now. I will see you in a bit on a camera since it is too dark for the camera, so I will see you shortly. And we'll pick it up from there. Here we go.
(1895) Summer. Helmsman's Landlocked. The smuggler's pact is to put gold before souls. If they don't bleed money, I don't care what risks they take. But the captain smells land-worn. A coward, even. He clings to his rifle and sweats. She's near. He spotters. Rimbo, Jazz, into the dew reeds to look for the cargo. Don't linger at the trace. Get in the reeds, they do. They slide through the pluff, mud, and heron bones. Me and the captain wade across the still water and take cover behind a palm fringe. We watch them get distracted by the trace. The creek trembles. It shivers, rattles my knees. The rotjaw breaches with Jazz clamped in her mouth. Those jaws could crush a cannonball. I don't know what to call what they do to Jazz's head. Wind surges. It whitecaps the marsh upstream. I brace for the gale force, steady the captain as he shoots. He's got dizzy aim, sends a bullet through Rimbo's chest. Rotjaw purges her shackles. Bolts of blue-green lightning leap from the water and burn Rimbo. His scream comes out of his eyes instead of his mouth. I guess that's because his mouth is gone. Captain gave up watching the frenzy. He stares east. There it is. Mother of Mary, there it is. The captain drops his gun. The smokestack of a ship rises through the gator froth. It steams with a dead fog, but it's real. Knocks a tree over. Rotjaw stops playing with what's left of Jazz and Rimbo. She slinks away and follows the smokestack as it glides downstream on vapors. I don't see how we're supposed to get treasure from a ghost ship, I tell the captain. He winces. I imagine he's thinking the thoughts of all cowardly captains, that one day gold might float true enough to save him from what he's left to drown.
Alright, before we get to 6, I did want to actually show Hunters. Another one we'll get to here soon for on Stream Hunters specifically. Yeah, I've had these Hunter roster. This is my tutorial Hunter, but I've had a lot of these Hunters in here since over a year now, so excited to play them at some point. But yeah, there's the recent ones today. Good rounds. The one we'll look forward to on stream though, this Eric Anongus, our red good Dragon Knight bounty hunter with the bomb lance, so we'll pick it up with him soon, but for now the Wayward Helmsman and the Queen Gar, kind of the real king and queen of this event, so it's been fun. We'll pick it up with him soon. For now, we finish off the law. Alright.
1895. Summer. Prosychomai of the Primal. Volume 1. Chapter 2. She's generous with her gifts. I find her cage perched in the middle of the still water, rocking like a cradle with 2 hunters tucked inside. Pine beetles march up their legs, enter the chapel of their mouths, and come out of other holes and windows. What kind of prayer is at work here, I do not know. But I study the patterns of the beetles till dawn. The metal of the cage trap is soaked in her blood. I taste it. I feel its rot melt and molt and multiply. She is healed through the things that hurt us. And this is a special wonder to me. On those metal ribs are all sorts of wire spools, veins from machines, things pretending to be alive. It disgusts me. A plate welded on one of the nodes reads, Algiers Ice Company. Curious, the science that crowns the ribs of our queen. Whatever the reason, it is sacrilege. I spear a catfish and touch it to one of the cage spikes. Lightning sparks and smokes through its gills. It doesn't turn to ice. The sound of it is loud, foolish, causes someone to find me. I feel their soul as gentle as a moth lands on a skull at night. A pollen of orange filtered in the darkness of my vision. An instinct. This sense is new. A gift from her. And it will keep me safe. I pick up a railroad sledge from one of the dead hunters. It is slick with tide rot, oyster filth. I slide quiet, crouching around bundles of pampas grass till I hear the person swish their cane in the water. I time my movements with the swaying of the tall stalks. My legs move as hers move. I am silent in the stream. I raise the hammer and know that I am blessed. I let the hammer fall and know that I am blessed.
Sadly, it would not work as cool as that because, it shows the bounty right in the area, but you see our stream ping is at least twice as much as usual. This is just in lobby. In the server itself, it does get up to the hundreds from playing on stream, so look forward to better internet down the line. For now, appreciate what we have. Just want to look one more time. Yep, 3 out of 3. Last round is very, very exciting to kill them in good sequence there. 6 to 7 to 739. Officer and Caroline. It was very, very exciting and lovely for duos versus trios. Glad to pull that one out. It was great for what it was. Alright, let's carry on these and go from there. Okay.
October 1st, 1893. Still. Delphine Transit Log. 0000 hours AM. Time unknown. Time is irrelevant here, as is hunger, thirst, and other bodily functions. If Mr. Carmichael were to cut me open, he would find clockwork. Clocks inside all of us. The moon here is a joke. It barely moves. 0000 hours AM. There are more people aboard than I thought. Most are hiding in cabinets or shuddering naked beneath poker tables. Some find river snails and isopods and shove them into their eyes. There are only a handful of the crew and passengers left to talk to. 0000 hours AM. I told the rest that the captain abandoned us. Mrs. Carmichael called me faithless, said I steered us into a twilight hell. Mr. Carmichael accused me of pushing the captain over. Angelico agreed, mentioning that our cargo was immaculate. Frederick claimed that we had the Ark of the Covenant on board, that he could hear a voice from it without using his ears. Mr. Owl said he'd gut Frederick if he kept on like that. Scrawlback Jim shot off some rounds, shut them up. He said he wasn't hungry and hadn't pissed for 1,000 years. There was something stalking the boat he wanted us to go shoot. Apparently, the Delphine is full of guns and stolen goods. He mentioned some kind of crenulated insectile head like an artifact, too. 0000 hours AM. They've been shooting for an hour at the giant beetles that plow these channels with their migrations, at the trees, at the waterlogged roaming sailors that explode silver vomit from their mouths. The sailors seem out of time, more lost than we are. 0000 hours AM. The gunshots woke something up. It raised the Delphine a whole foot out of the water, then swam out, turned, and rammed us head on. All I saw were jaws tearing into the paddle wheel.
"1895, summer. Helmsman's landlog. They say time heals all wounds, but it runs like water and drowns the unwary. When you untie me, I'm going to stab you, the rat told me. She was wet and shivering. I shoved a rag into her mouth, smeared grease across her eyes out of courtesy. Testing the powers of a ship curse is brutal work. Captain left to talk to that man, Finch. Orders were to see if the Delphine had blessed us. I went beside Glib and the gunrunner by the altar we found. I didn't feel this would work. The rat was in the middle of the river. She couldn't move a finger lashed to that tree. I shot first, hit her in the shoulder. She didn't make a sound. Glib and the gunrunner shot her next, both in the legs. She made a sound then. It was muffled through the rag. I watched her through my scope. Damn me if I don't speak true. The water boiled at her waist. Her skin spit out each bullet. The holes closed, all healed by the water. I shot the knot, let her loose. Glib spat tobacco at the altar. "This don't mean anything. The Delphine is running from us," the gunrunner told me. "From the captain." We hadn't seen or heard the rat swimming. She was just there, tucked a bayonet into Glib's ribs. Before I could cock her hammer back, she shanked the gunrunner in the neck and stuck me in the armpit. I've seen men shredded by anchor chains, slit at the throat by crane wire. Somehow we bled more than all of that. "Go on, boys," the rat said. "Time for your bath." We stumbled into the stream and the water boiled at our waists. Glib murmured something about mermaids drowning. Our cuts healed. Water turned to blood. The rat pointed north of the bayonet, to where steam rose above the trees, and a boat's ghostly engine struggled.
October 1st, 1893. Forever. Delphine Transit Log, 0000 hours a.m. It seems we've been underway for 10,000 years. It feels like I'm made of ley line and fog. Mr. Carmichael can't leave the saloon without licking 5 barnacles in ritual sequence. North, south, south, west, east. October 1st.
I was trying to open the overlay. It is bugged again, sadly.
1893.
1895.
October 1st, 1893. Forever. Delphine Transit Log, 0000 hours a.m. It seems we've been underway for 10,000 years. It feels like I'm made of ley line and fog. Mr. Carmichael can't leave the saloon without licking 5 barnacles in ritual sequence. North, south, south, west, east, south. Mrs. Carmichael lives inside what remains of the paddle wheel now. She hugs the axle and spins with each turn. Sometimes I hear her singing. Frederick has been building a contraption. He says he can use it to transport us home. When he leaves the cargo hold, I go and break parts of its cage. 0000 hours a.m. Mr. Owl caught a beetle the size of a sea turtle and tried to bring it aboard. He was going to try eating one again, but that alligator lurched out of the water and snapped his arms off. Mr. Owl won't be flying anytime soon. Again, that young girl was on the banks, watching, moving her hands all strange. Maybe she can control that thing. Maybe she can control all of us. 0000 hours a.m. Mr. Owl has rotted from the inside out. Last word he spoke was Rotjaw. 0000 hours a.m. After the 5th attack by the Rotjaw, we were boarded by a man on a rowboat, some stranger we'd never seen before. It shocked me. It ruined my view of this place as pure and chartless. The man said our cargo was special. He said the insectile head buried under the guns was special. Julius Caesar sacrificed a goat on that very relic, the man said. Napoleon Bonaparte tried to feed it to his horse, too. He said the object once showed a man how to make the very first fire. He said if we shoved it inside that alligator, we'd all go home. He tapped the deck with his cane when he said, home.
"1895, summer. Tale of submission, verse 2. The breath of a flower could break this man in half. If you patch me up right, I can tell you about the alligator, the bloated man says. He's been wet for a long time. His skin is sick from the rain. The sores seem like a mole he should not have touched. His many broken bones were splintered by a heavy hammer. The man was brought to me by the wolf pack. Their leader kicks him in the ribs. I smell blood on them. There was a fight. They want me to heal them. If they betray this kindness, I can squeeze their life back out. They hand me a trait totem. I grip its skull and channel the restoration within, as I have heard done before. The thing is dark and hot, and its energy is strong. I feel blood multiply inside the wolf hunters, and the mold withers away from the lowly man's flesh. The totem vanishes. "You are Mr. Shari?" I ask. "A weak name. A name for a worm." "Even a worm has seen things you have not." He stands. I hand him a stick instead of his cane. "How has this rotjaw come here?" I place my hand over his on the stick. I squeeze hard enough to make him bleed again. "There is a man who has traveled to another place, the land of the dead. He brought something back and used this monster to do it. He's selfish." "Where is he? Does he too have the name of Worm?" "No. He has the name of a bird, Finch, and I know where he'll be when the sun rises." "Will the rotjaw be there?" I draw a grub on the man's face with his own blood. "Yes. She strikes at the sun like men break their teeth on gold." "1895, summer. Tale of submission, final verse. I'm riding her snout through the wind, and her mouth is creaking open. The murmuring deafens me. Arcs of lightning bloom across the swamp, boiling the silver veins inside my eyes. I'm riding her snout through the wind, and the rain festers on my lips. Her smell is thyme and lavender, if herbs could weep pus. I'm riding her snout across the sky, and the rain putrefies. My ropes sling tight under her jaw and hold firm. I plant my fear inside my spit, and I spit into the holes of her jaw. This is my respect. Her spit is the color of fireflies squashed between a child's finger and thumb. I'm riding her snout across the bottom of the river, and the rocks cut me. I'm riding her snout through the boards of a shack, and her entrails snag on wood and glass. Her rot blossoms in the creek, and many fish burn and blacken, and I breathe in their life to give my arms the strength they've lost. I'm riding her snout over the creek, and her tooth shears the lashing rope. She death rolls. I let go. The bow of a ship steams in her lightning filth, arching over her. I'm standing before her open mouth, and I bow, my arms out. If I drip on her tongue, she'll bite. If I breathe into her, she'll bite.
Hello there, little sofa. Been a while there. Our finally upholstered friend. Very funny, naughty sofa, but welcome back nonetheless.
Welcome back.
We get into Hogwarts Legacy again soon. For now, it has been a great time. Baldur's Gate 3, we return today. How have you been there? Sofa, been a little while. Yep, good Baldur's Gate soon to come. Join a tad bit more of a hunt since it's the last 24 hours of the event. Played some really good rounds tonight. I'll happy to show you screenshots, other recordings, or archives and info as we go if you'd like. How you been though? Welcome back, Silva. New commands await your enjoyment, including one we just added tonight.
I stand still. I swallow vomit and the rain. Inside the rot jaw, I see an object not of this land. Its head-like, maybe a paper fossil, maybe a pupa birthed from the first insect to tread on land. Its decay whispers in languages not heard since people first made fire. I dodge the Rotjaw's bite. She sinks with the boat. I know now what has fouled this rain.
Yep, it's been a good event. I look forward to playing a good bit for the second of the Tide series as well. If you're starting off our chat tonight, we're about to get to back some Dark Urge fun with our Dragonborn Sorcerer raiding the Grove, and we shall pick it up a little bit for Ranger Knight Githyanki and other Owlbear Caves and other areas. Big Phase Spider Matriarch is very interesting as well. So we shall see about that. In the meantime, back to Chapter 12.
1895. Summer. Prosychomai of the Primal. Volume 1, Chapter 3. That wrestler weakened the right jaw and stopped the rain somehow. The clouds are like the fur of a sleeping animal, dead calm. She gurgles in the water. She calls me to her. But others have heard too. 4 smugglers in a watchtower. That reptilian and his kin, skulking under walkways. A shield of hunters caring for the grounded behind the trees. The skinned one rushes from the roots of an upturned tree. Muzzle fire flares from both his hands. Bark explodes behind my head. A firebomb flutters and breaks on the watchtower. As a moth might, we're full of moonshine and lust. Those grounded hunters bring a grunt horde led by a host of hives. They weave through them, undetected, as the helmsman and his captain get flanked. The reptilian's optimate fire blows apart a water devil herd. The hornback sets off my trap. She screams, suspended on barbed wire. I hear pistol ammo run dry. I roll in the water. I was born to be as quiet as the thoughts of a wave. My lance pierces the skin from behind. I push its tip all the way through the birdcage of his lungs. Bullets slip through my skin. They're the wishes of butterflies scorched by summer. A knife blesses my shoulder. An arrow finds my leg. The pain rings a cicada in my ear. But I am relentless. I've made it to the Rotjaw. I touch her for the first time. The heaving, pulsing wildness of her. I bleed all the blood I have left into her mouth and banish her soul as mine is leaving too. I find the ghost of her hand and hold it. If I can cheat this death, so can she. I whisper, I can't save you. I can't make of you a throne. I can only crown you queen of my heart and hope its beating brings you back to me.
October 1st, 1893. Eternity. Delphine transit log. 00 hours a.m. Frederick retrofitted his electric device to slide around the alligator. He said the relic told him how to do it. When he thinks he's alone, he cradles the thing like a baby, letting the isopods that follow it suck his fingers. 00 hours a.m. I have a plan to stop Frederick's cage and whatever the man in the rowboat wants. If I could feed them to the Delphine, I would. If my plan works, I'll die. 00 hours a.m. I stepped off the Delphine for the first time. I wanted to know what it was like, but she is more a part of me than my own blood. We are married. I could never leave her like the captain did. I will stay here with her. We will have a kind of children together, I think. 00 hours a.m. Mrs. Carmichael sings when the Rotjar comes near. She has sang for a whole geological age, but the thing has not appeared. Something else is about to happen. 00 hours a.m. The storm is back. Mr. Douglas has been shooting into the wind to try and stop it. Mr. Carmichael is licking his barnacles in reverse order. His wife won't stop singing from the paddle wheel. 00 hours a.m. Damn them all. They put a meat hook through Scrawlback Jim and drug him on a cable as bait. It happened too fast. The Rotjaw bit down, and they used the paddle wheel as a winch to reel it onto the main deck. It set that young girl on the banks to screaming. It set Mr. Douglas on blue fire. It set me to work to save the ship.
Our final couple chapters here. Tide of Shadows.
1895, summer. Helmsman's landlog. The Delphine rained down from the sky. She broke apart as cursed as any shipwreck could hope to be. It happened when the fish woman crawled on the Rotjaw and banished her. The boat must have been ghosting through the clouds. The paddle wheel crushed someone high